This is it, people. This is what you've been waiting for. This is Everyday Celebrity Podcast. The podcast for everyday people with everyday problems, trying to find everyday solutions to accomplish everyday goals. Let's start the show. Welcome to another episode of Everyday Celebrity Podcast. No one podcast in Oakland, no one podcast in the Bay Area. And today we have a special guest. We have a up and coming, on the rise DJ in the Bay Area. She is an artist. She's a model. She is a walking piece of art. And she is a DJ.
This is true. This is all true.
Driving beats in everyone's souls. She goes by the name of Jada, but her DJ name is
Jada.
Welcome to the show.
Hello, thank you so much for having me.
How was your night?
My night was amazing. I just got back from a gallery opening. I just met so many amazing people, connects, great vibes.
Whose gallery was it?
It was Tyranny Island's gallery. Tyranny Island Galleries.
Uh-huh.
And actually, he shares that gallery with More Vibes Worldwide. That's also what I'm wearing.
Mm-hmm.
Great company, great vibes, nothing but amazing energy in that building.
So you're like the new ambassador?
If you can say that. You can say that.
Okay.
But you can't say that, though. It's not official.
So you are a DJ, obviously, right? That's
yes,
why
sir.
That's why you're on here. So we're going to talk about your life and shit. What brought you out here? You're originally from Ohio?
I am. I'm from Cincinnati, Ohio. Born in Cleveland, raised in Cincinnati. Got to shout out both.
What's the difference between Cincinnati and Cleveland? What place did you spend most of your time?
Cincinnati. So I'm a little more familiar with that, so I can't really say too much about Cleveland.
Okay.
Rock with it, but Cincinnati is just the home.
So let's talk about Cincinnati.
Okay.
What was that like?
It's different. It's not as... it's different. Compared to out here, which is just what I'm more familiar with now, it's not the same at all.
What made it different?
To me, Oakland is a little bit more inviting. There's a lot of opportunity and it's not so selfish. People are willing to help or put you on, as far as I've experienced.
Were you DJing in Cincinnati?
I was not. I was learning. My uncle was teaching me and he's taught me everything I know about music. But as far as actually DJing, no, I wasn't doing that. And I think that was like the problem.
Did your uncle raise you?
Basically, him and my grandma.
Where were your parents at?
My mom, she lived in Cleveland. Was not the best part of my life. She was, in a way, gave me up at 2, and that's why my grandma was raising me. And my uncle is my mom's brother, so that's his mom. So we just lived all together.
So she didn't give you up for adoption. She just left you.
just basically, she wasn't able to, because of drugs. She was not able to care for me, and my grandma stepped in. So
was she like addicted to like crack or something?
I honestly, to this day, do not know the specifics. I'm not an idiot, and of course, I can like put 2 and 2 together. But I don't want to know the specifics at this point, because just some things I'm okay with not knowing, especially about like my mother. That's very personal. Like me and her have a close relationship now, but it was not always like that. So I'm very weird about it. Oh yeah. My mom is my homie now for sure.
You don't have any like resentment?
Nah, I did a while ago, but then new spirit came along, and forgiveness is very important, and that's my nigga. My mom is for sure my nigga.
So your uncle raised you with your grandma.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any siblings?
I do. I have 4 on my dad's side that I don't really talk to because dad is not really a part of my life either, and I don't know their mom. So it's very hard to get in contact with them. I've met them maybe on 2-3 occasions, but last time I want to say is when I was 12 and I'm 24.
Do you know where they're at?
Cleveland, as far as I know.
Okay.
But then I have 3 on my mom's side, and I see them way more often. I actually live with them for a point in time. So yeah, I'm a little closer to them.
And they're still on the East Coast?
Yeah, they're in Cincinnati.
Are you like really close with a certain one?
I would say Richard, just because we're closer in age. We bond a little bit more on music. Like, he's starting to rap and make his own music with his homies, and he'll send it to me. Like, what you think about this? Like, is this good? Is this good? And that's a connect right there. So that's like probably the strongest bond. But I also have a really strong bond with the youngest one, just because she's the baby. She's just gonna sit up under you, and you can't deny that.
So what? The age. What time period were you in Cincinnati till when?
From 2 until 23.
Till 23. So you went to high school. Did you go to college out there?
No, I went to Kent State, which is about 45 an hour away from Cleveland.
What were you like in high school?
I was wild. It was pretty wild. A lot of people. I'm not gonna say that. I was pretty wild.
What is wild, man?
As in, like, I just didn't really care about, like,
committing crimes and shit.
No. See, now that aspect, I was too scared to get in trouble because of my grandma. She's very. I was raised in the church, so I was like scared of God, scared to get in trouble. And then my grandma is she's the type to like give you that look, and you just know you need to sit the hell down. Like, what do you know? So I was just scared to ever get caught and have my grandma look at me with disappointment. That's what it was. So I never did nothing like. Got in trouble. I would get in trouble in school, get a detention here and there, maybe get suspended if it was some serious shit. But besides that, I was pretty good. I kept pretty good grades, maybe a C here and there. But wild as in like sexually, I was pretty sheltered as a child. And I'm not like, I don't want to blame my grandma for that, because that's honestly why I am the way I am and how well-rounded I think that I am, because of how she raised me. But I didn't really get to do what most teenagers got to do, like going to parties, going to their friend's house just randomly. Like it would always have to be like, you need to call me every single second. I need to know where you're going. If I don't know them, you're not going. And like, that's realistic. I get it. But you know, some kids just got a different experience. So
when you went to high school, you got a little bit more freedom or something? Or you started to like rebel? Yeah,
but in a way where it's like not too much rebellion, because I still don't want my grandma to know about it. But I'm going to still do what I want because I'm in those years.
Did more boys start to show you more attention in high school?
Yeah. But that really, I would say that was a factor, but I started to get a little bit more confidence. That's what it was. Like I got a little bully, like, oh, you're so skinny, all that low crap. But that never really got to me. It's just like, once that stopped happening, it's like, oh, that's not all that people see. And I got a little confidence from that.
Did anything bad happen in your little promiscuous years?
Yeah, there was times where people would take advantage of it.
Yeah.
And in the moment, I'm like, what are you doing? What's this about? But I guess back in that time, I would see why I was looked at like, I would say easy target maybe, but not necessarily. Like certain actions give off certain other actions, but I'm still not going to say that's why stuff happened. You know what I mean?
Were you scared to say no to some men?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Do you feel like you were, looking back at it, do you feel like you were forced to have sex with some men?
Yeah. There were times where I wanted to say no and didn't. And like, I guess it was okay. But then there were some times where like, I really wanted to say no and didn't. And it felt horrible, like disgusting. And then there was one time where I actually did stop, and it was like, okay, like, you know, like you're doing too much. You got to go. Like, I felt like I was getting assaulted in that way.
Yeah. Did you tell I'm sure you didn't tell your grandma about these stories.
I told my mom maybe years later, but not in a way where it's like, I'm crying, breaking down. It's just like, I'm telling you just because like we're close now. So like, why not tell you what I went through? Why I don't want to be the only one to notice. Do
you feel like she gave you good advice, or was she a good listener?
In the time that I told her, no. And there was even times where I would tell her that, like, you weren't fully there. So there was even a period, maybe a year, where I didn't talk to my mom. When I moved out here, I was not talking to her. I called her maybe 2 months after I lived in SF. And then we talked and she apologized. Like we had a whole like, yeah, but there was a time where we just weren't, I couldn't do it no more. Like I had just been hurt. Like she had gone back on drugs multiple times and that affects me and my siblings. And at a certain point, I'm not even upset for me. Like I just want you to stop doing this. So I don't want to be around people who are not willing to change themselves, even if you aren't my mother. Like it is what it is. But stuff like that really held me back. Like I would be like, no, I'm not gonna go do what I want. Like, cause I'm sad because my mom won't stop or like, because my brother is doing this or something like that. And at a certain point, you got to stop letting that affect you. Yes, it's very sad. It's not what you want, but that can't be the reason why I'm not doing me.
What age were you when you reconnected with your mom?
23, right before my birthday.
And what sparked that interaction?
Actually, my uncle, because he's the one I moved out here with. He helped me get my own spot and just get connected and just going around the city with him. He randomly was just like, you know, like your mom's been talking to me and like she really misses you. She wants to reconnect and just talking to my uncle and just being in the city and like I'm in a whole new environment. Why not forgive and let go? And I did, and it's great because me and her are connected now. Like I call her every day. We just talk, laugh, just stupid stuff. And I wanted that while growing up.
Do you do any drugs?
Yeah, a couple.
Like what?
I smoke weed. I've done ecstasy before, Xans, but that's not regular stuff. I've just done it before as like just to do it. But something I do a little regularly is shrooms. I love shrooms.
Why do you love shrooms?
Because it makes me feel so free. It's what I want to do without having to be enclosed or like thinking about it. Like really when I'm on shrooms or even microdosing, I feel like a big ass kid. And that takes me back to when I was truly happy, when I didn't have to worry about crap. And just being that free and listening to music that I love now as an adult, it takes me back to that, but like the nostalgia of now. So just that together and just being with people I love and I'm safe with, that all together is those feelings. It's overload of emotions.
Yeah. I know a bunch of people who do drugs. They do like ecstasy and shit when they go to parties, and they do it because it brings out like a characteristic in them that
they wish they would show on the regular.
Yeah, exactly. So like if you're dancing at a rave or something, like I can't have all this energy without taking this pill. So I'm not saying I do that, but I'm just saying I know people who do that, or people who do like cocaine. Like it makes them, turns them into something that
they wish they were all the time.
Yeah. So do you think when you do shrooms and all these other anything else, that a part of you wish you were something that's not there on the regular?
In a way, yes. But I think, at least for me, as I keep doing it, everything that I wish that I do while I'm on shrooms, I'm starting to like, it's just naturally gravitating in my actual life. Like I don't have to be high, but like that feeling, I want to feel that all the time. Like I want to feel this great. I want to feel this happy. I want to just feel like a weighted blanket. That's what it feels like. You have this like heavy feeling on you, but it's not like, oh, anxiety or nothing like that. It's just a feeling. It's a comfort almost. Yeah. Even then, I did acid actually pretty recently, and that was the most amazing experience I've ever had in my life. I did it with two of my closest friends. We were on Black Sand Beach in Sausalito. And never in that moment would I have just been so engulfed in dirt and sand and just running around like a big kid, but it felt so good.
Do you feel like that's one of the reasons why people get addicted to drugs? Because that feeling that you just described.
Oh, for sure.
You think that
Absolutely.
You can never have that feeling unless you take acid, so you're going to continue to do
Absolutely, for sure. But you have to have most people know that you have to have a restraint with it. Acid is not something you can do repeatedly, like day after day or week after week, or like for me, even with shrooms, you have to prepare and get your mind right and don't just take it thinking, oh, I'm gonna be high. Like it's a mental and it's a experience. You can't just do it and forget about your mental and yourself.
Mm.
Like I was taught to set intentions and keep good thoughts and vibrate in good positive energy around you, and that thing will gravitate towards you, and that will make you have a good trip. Or whatever you need to have, whatever you need to see during this trip is what you're going to see. Like you can't avoid it.
Mm.
So that's what I said for days on end before I took acid. Whatever I need to see, let me see it. Just let me experience it, because it's obviously what I need. And I got exactly what I needed.
What makes you think you won't get addicted to acid or any other drug? Because a lot of people say, oh, I'm not going to get addicted to this. The next thing you know, they're doing that shit every day.
Because I think it's also an intentional mental thing. Like you have to not just be thirsty for that feeling. You have to know there are certain times where you need it and certain times when you don't. Because it's not, that's the things that's going to make you have a bad trip or make you do something bad. Like you have to know that you can't just chase the feeling. You have to thrive and like do stuff regularly for you to feel that. Like music gives me that feeling, or just being around good people and positive energy gives me that feeling. Like being at that gallery today just made me just sit there like, like this is something I can be a part of. And that feels so good, especially with my people.
So you, when you graduated high school, did you go straight to college?
I did.
And you went to Kent State?
I did. I only did 2 years though.
Where's Kent State at?
It is like 45 minutes from Cleveland.
Okay.
Just about up north.
Was that your preference to go there, or?
It was not.
No?
No.
Just one of those I just went to wherever I got into?
No. My boyfriend at the time was supposed to go there, and then he ended up not going to college. So yeah, I followed love. I was supposed to go to Tennessee State.
Okay. Did you get accepted into Tennessee State?
I did.
Did your boyfriend get accepted into Kent?
He did.
How come he didn't go? He ended up going to Tennessee State, didn't he?
No, he didn't go anywhere. He didn't go anywhere. The obvious thought that comes to mind is we weren't supposed to be together, and I was following him to go to school, and he didn't want that. And that's just how it worked out.
Okay. Did you guys still stay together when you went to Kent?
Yeah, for about a year. Then we broke up, didn't talk for a year, then got back together for a year, and then it was over.
Was it a toxic relationship?
Extremely, yeah.
How was it toxic?
He cheated on me. I cheated back. I found out he cheated. I stayed. Like, I just knew we weren't good together. We just weren't good together. There was no motivation for each other. It was literally, we were just comfort. We got along very well. We had connections on music, but besides that, like, I just felt like I was just following him. And that's like been a pattern in some of my relationships, just forgetting my dreams, forgetting what I want to do, and just attaching onto them.
So a lot of women, they when they're in those type of relationships, right, they stay in them because they feel like there's nothing better out there, or that's one of the reasons. And when you went to Kent State, obviously you're around other black men with goals and dreams. You're around educated people. Did you realize that, there's better men
for sure
to pick from?
I realized
that's why you
quick.
That's why you it was time for you to leave.
That wasn't necessarily a part of it, but I noticed it and I took note, and it just happened naturally once we like decided, we're no good for each other, gotta go. It was just like, okay, like there are other people there, and Kent isn't even where I found, like, I didn't even date anybody at Kent. It was just like physical stuff.
So how long were you at Kent?
2 years. 2015 to 2017.
That's a 4-year university?
Yes.
Why did you stop?
Because mentally I had checked out, really, because at that point my uncle had went to jail, and that's like my dad, but we had a weird relationship going on. Like, I stopped talking to him, or like we just didn't connect. Like, I had school going on. I was pretty selfish back then. Wasn't really thinking about family or anybody else. It was just like, I got this going on. Like, I'm cool. I'm happy. And once stuff started to break down, I did not know what to do. So like my grades slipped. I really left school, but that was the reason why, because of my uncle. I was just so traumatized about that. And I just had to leave school because I knew I was going to waste my money and for no reason because I wasn't doing nothing there.
What were you studying?
First, it was photojournalism because I wanted to be a photographer, but then I realized that wasn't what I wanted. And then it was visual communication and design, which was more graphic design, which is not what I wanted either. So that was also a part of it. I'm not going to keep wasting money and I don't even know what I want to study.
Yeah. So you left Kent, and then what?
Went back home. That was
Cincinnati?
rough. Yeah.
Okay.
That was a rough.
Back to your grandma's house?
Yeah. Grandma
She was
for a
still alive
year.
back in-
Grandma's
Okay.
still there. Yes. Love my grandma. Went back to my grandma's house, and then my mom had been living at the house actually where I grew up in Cincinnati, and she's still there. So I stayed there for a little minute, and that's when I was living with my brothers and sisters again because I had never got to live with them. And that was rough because I was raised an only child, and now I'm with 3 kids, my mom, and a dog. Like, this is weird. Like, I need my own privacy. I need my space. This is mine, but I can't really do that. I had to learn that lesson quick, but it didn't stick in my head.
Was your grandma ashamed that you left college?
I felt like she was, yeah. And I even said that to her. There wasn't really much of a discussion, so to me that's approval. But I feel like with what I'm trying to do now, it's what I actually want to do. Because really, me going to college and studying journalism, that was for her. I did not want to be a news reporter. I didn't want to be writing articles. I did not want to do that. But I was good at it because I had a good speaking voice and I know how to sit up proper and like make it look good. But it's not what I want to do. So now that I'm attempting and I'm actually in my field trying to do stuff that I actually want to do, I think that's gonna make her a little bit more proud.
Okay. So were you working anywhere?
When I went back home, I worked at a couple restaurants. I was a server. I worked at a nursery for disabled adults for a while, and I actually really loved that because it was public service work for me. And yeah, that was probably one of the most meaningful jobs I had when I went back. But besides that, just restaurant, and that's about it. There's not much of an art scene in Cincinnati that I felt like I could tap into. So I just didn't.
Were you in the party scene out there?
Yes and no. Like I would attempt to go to a party every now and then, but it's the same scene. It's the same people. It's very exclusive.
So you left Cincinnati and came out here with your uncle?
Yeah.
So how did that happen? And why did it happen?
Because my uncle, everything I know about music or movies, education, any literature, anything I know from him. Well, I know a lot of literature and poetry from my grandma, but I'm just giving him a lot of credit because that's really where my drive comes from. He is a web designer, and so he does freelance work, and his job at the time was in San Francisco. And I had always just talked about, I want to move, I want to do something. And at the time I was dating someone, and he asked if you got an opportunity to move, would you? And I said no. And he asked, is it because you're dating someone? Is it because of him? And I was like, yeah, of course. Like, I don't want to leave. And then we broke up. And I called him. I was like, yeah, we broke up. He said, so are you ready to move? I said, yes. The next week he got me a plane ticket. I was here, literally. So he gave me an opportunity, and I was tired of saying no. Like, no, I'm good. I don't want to. I'm scared. But I just feel like that was my last chance.
So when you say he got locked up, was he in prison or just jail?
Both.
How long was he locked up for?
4 years, 3.5.
3.5 years. And then when he got out, he came straight out here?
No, he was back in Ohio for a little minute. He actually started going to school for web design and development. And he actually has his own company, Lux Designs, by the way. Has his own company, and he's just working towards more. And that's what I'm trying to do. So, and I've never really given him the credit for that until I got older and got the opportunity. Like, so this is what I really could be doing. Like, he would talk to me about it, of course, and educate me and show me this and show me that. But the fact that I actually got to do it with him, like experience it with him, that was surreal for me.
So when you got out here, was that your first time ever being in the Bay Area?
Mm-hmm. That was my first time leaving the Midwest ever.
And
I had been to the South and stuff, but that's different. I love it. I love the Bay. I love it so much. It's just so much of a, I want to say, community. That's how it feels to me, because it's not like that back home. I don't want to make it sound like such a negative thing, but it's just so much more welcoming and opportunity out here. Mm-hmm. I've only been out here I've been in Oakland since June, and I've got so many more opportunities than I would have ever even thought to get the chance of back in Ohio.
Mm-hmm. Why do you think that is?
Because I'm actually putting myself out there. I feel like I didn't do that back home because I got used to it, I guess. Mm-hmm. I'm just here every day doing the same thing. Like, unless the opportunity is about to come out at me, what am I going to do? Yeah. And out here, I actually put the work in and put myself out there. Like, never in a million years would I have asked anybody, like, do you need a DJ? Like, I'm DJing, like, here's my information. Mm-hmm. I'm starting to like be more vocal about my actual talents and wanting to showcase them. Like, the other day I was like, if you need I know you sing sometimes, I know you have performances sometimes. If you need a backup singer, if you need even a second performer, hit me up. I never would have done that. Like, ever. I'm not really so fake shy anymore, is what I call it.
Yeah. So when did your love for like music start to happen?
That's always been a thing. Yeah. My grandma has always just played oldies and OJs and stylistics, and that just set with me. So growing up with my uncle and him playing Tupac and just everybody old and DJ Screw, like just growing me up on like real music that's like people who's actually doing something, that put something in my soul. So just growing up on actual good. And then my mom, she would be playing some hard, like real hard shit, playing 3-6 Mafia. Like, so I got a lot of different perspectives of music, but they all sat with me.
And what about DJing?
That didn't start until really last year. My uncle came home and he knew that I wasn't doing shit with my life, and he was basically sick of it, and finally was like, here, gave me my first controller. And literally what he did with me is we called it like school. He would meet with me every week. He would give me a lesson on people's music and time frames and who made this and who made this. And then he would come back next week and quiz me, and then we would have another lesson, and then we would have a DJ lesson. And that would happen for a couple months straight until he moved again. And then he came back and he didn't come back. He just gave me the opportunity to go with him to SF. So just doing that and getting like, it was literally like school. Like I'm good at school, and I like the like format of school. I just don't like the idea, I guess. So when he put,
you don't like being in the classroom? Yeah,
because like I need to be interested in what I'm learning. So once he put that in the format, it was like, okay, I got this. I could do this.
But why DJing though? Why did you ever ask him? Why did you like buy me this to start DJing?
No, because I know my uncle. He got a plan. He's got something working, something brewing. But he also knows that I want to make music. I want to eventually make beats and sing and be like someone's like ghostwriter. I don't want to be famous. I just want my music to be known. So he knows that, and this is a great place to start to get me to actually know how to do it and move my fingers on it. And like, that's a great start for me. And now that I've actually started to DJ out here, I'm getting in touch with people who are making music and know how to do this and know how to make beats and who can actually connect me or teach me.
So you write songs?
Not necessarily songs. I write poetry. I really just write whatever comes to mind and put it into lyrics later. Like I'll write little snippets, whatever comes to mind, like a random 4-line, and then I'll write something else and then go back and look at it and put it together. Like, oh, that works.
What's your poetry mostly about?
Love and life. Like,
is it like dark love?
No, it's
like that happy shit.
No, it's not like you hurt my feelings. It's just like, this is what happens when two people, like, just something very not literal. It's very basic, I would say, as for right now, but
So it's not the truth.
Why would it not be the truth?
Because that's not how really love is. Love is dark and it's disappointing.
I hear that, but it's also got a loving and positive side to it. Oh, yeah. And love doesn't also just focus on physical relationships either. Have you
ever been in love?
I think I was.
How can you write about love if you've never been in love?
Because I felt like I was in love and I was very fond and very in depth with this man, but I don't think that same feeling was there for me.
So you've never been in love?
I could say
You would know if you were in love.
I'm going to say right now I'm falling in love. But as for before, no.
You're falling in love right now?
Mm-hmm. I would say that.
Well, if you would have said I would have been in love, I was going to ask you, have you ever been in unconditional love?
No. Nah, I think unconditional love is something that takes time.
Do you think a man and a woman can have unconditional love?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I think you just have to go through some shit together or really understand each other.
This is why I say no, right?
Okay.
A man and a woman can be in love, but unconditional love is something else. Unconditional love is can only be with a person and their child. That's unconditional love. You know why? Because you can be in love with the man, right? But you wouldn't hop in front of a bus for this man. You'll say it, but when it comes down to it, you're not going to hop in front of that bus. You're not going to take a bullet for this man. But if that's your son or your daughter,
you would do that for sure, no question. That's
unconditional love.
I feel it.
And that can never happen unless it's with a child and his mother or a child and his father. Do you agree?
I see where you're coming from, but in my, I don't know, because that makes a lot of sense. And it's.
Would you give your life for this man that you're falling in love with, that you say you're in love with?
At this very moment in time, I don't think I would.
Would you ever? Tell the truth. You won't.
Down the line, I'm actually gonna. No, I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna say no. Down the line, I'm gonna say absolutely. Not absolutely. If the opportunity, I don't know. I'm gonna have to say no because I'm not positive right now.
All right, good. All right, so I win that debate.
Okay, you got it.
All right. So, you say you're an artist as well. Well, let's skip this artistry. Modeling. When did you start modeling?
I actually started modeling, I believe, when I was 12.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say 12 or between 8 and 12. I did an American Girl fashion show a long time ago. And then I modeled at Kent before. I've done like prom fashion shows or whatever. Mm. But nothing. No, I've modeled because I've had people come and ask me, can I shoot you for this? Can I shoot you for that?
Yeah.
So I would say, yeah. And I'm actually trying to tap into it a little more because why not?
So you enjoy it?
I do. I like being in front of the camera, but there has to be structure.
Yeah.
There has to be a plan. Don't just throw me in there and say, look pretty, because that's not modeling.
Would you ever do nude modeling?
Probably not.
Why?
That's just not me. I'm not that fond of my body. I love myself and the way I look, but to put it on camera and to have other people possibly see it, my body's very personal to me. At least my body's very personal to me. I'm even with what I wear, I barely show skin, barely. So, and that's not to hide anything, and that's not to like close anything off. I'm just comfortable. I just really like to be cozy. That's just it.
So you're secure about how your body looks?
Yeah. I
100% confident?
Yeah. I would make changes, of course, or improvements, I would say. Like, there's nothing wrong working out more, getting a little thicker, more meat on my bones. But
so when I say you're 100% confident, to me, that means you wouldn't change nothing.
That's not what that means.
I mean, I'm saying that's why I said to me.
Oh, well, to me, I am 100% confident in my
But
body.
you would change parts of your body.
I wouldn't get surgery as right now,
Uh-huh.
but I don't mind gaining 10, 15 pounds just to be a little healthier.
You don't think you're healthy now?
I mean, I get winded going up the stairs sometimes, and I think
You get winded?
just a little bit. So I think working out a little bit will help regulate that.
Okay. Have you been trying?
Yeah.
To gain weight?
I've started doing yoga again, and actually I think my weight hasn't gone down. It's more of like just staying where it is. So I guess that's
Have you
kind of
always
good.
been this slim?
Yeah, always. Actually, probably skinnier.
Skinnier.
Yeah, I was very small growing up. Very.
Okay. Were you ever teased for being slim?
Yeah. This one dude told me he told me one time I'm so skinny that I could dodge raindrops. And that stuck with, I don't know why that stuck with me. He said that to me in elementary school. And that's still in my head. Not as like oh my God. It's just like, damn, that was kind of funny.
When you look at Instagram, right, like social media, and when women say they're like models because they like take a picture, you know how these Instagram girls say they're models, but they're not really models. How do you feel about that?
I think
Like everyone says they're a model now.
I think everyone has, I'm not going to say everyone. I think people have potential, but there's more to modeling than just being pretty or having a nice body. You have to know how to move and flow with the camera and flow with the photographer and listen and move correctly. There's more than to just being cute. So I think if you're very pretty, you got followers, all that, that's very much potential, but you just got to know what to do with it when you get it.
Why do you think there's not enough? Well, I don't know if you think this, but do you think there's a lot of black representation in the model industry?
I think there's not a lot that is known because there are many black models like Ebony Davis that need to be used more than Kylie Jenner or Bella Hadid. Like, yes, they are gorgeous, but there are people who can do a little bit better who deserve opportunities as well.
Yeah.
So I think it does need to be expanded, given a little bit more color, and not even just black people. There are a bunch of different people that deserve opportunities that are more than just the faces you see every day, all the time, the known names.
If someone was to hire you for like a shoot, right, and you found out that the only reason you were hired is just because you were black, not because of your talents, how would you feel about that?
Wouldn't feel good about it. Of course, that would be like, make me feel like a token character, but I feel like if you're given a certain opportunity and you think highly of yourself, turn that shit out and don't let that be the only reason. Show your face and then you might get noticed somewhere else. Yeah, that sucks that was why you were invited or why you were asked, but you gotta pick and choose. So
you feel like more people should swallow their pride?
No,
to get the job done?
I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying you gotta pick and choose. You just gotta know if this is the right opportunity for you, then push that shit to the side and do it. But if it's not, then keep moving forward and work for another one.
Has that ever happened to you?
I don't think so. I really don't think so, because I involve myself in a lot of black spaces to where something like that wouldn't necessarily happen. But I also don't want to be excluded or only included for that reason. So I don't think that's happened to me yet. But I would feel pretty bad if that were to happen. Just being realistic. That would feel pretty bad.
What's the one thing you hate about the modeling world?
The one thing, it's very daunting. It's all like you have to look a certain way, I guess. That's starting to open back up a little bit now, but even still on runways, you don't see different people. They all pretty much look the same. And that's pretty disappointing. We're about to be in 2022. Like, it's okay to see some different people. It still does not have to be the same.
Yeah, I mean, well, we thought racism was going to go away, but it's at its highest peak right now. It seems like. Do you have a muse?
I'm gonna say myself because I'm starting to.
So you're narcissistic?
No, I just I'm starting to really be confident in myself now. Instead of hiding my art and just doing it in my room or not telling people that I DJ or that I sing or that I model, like I'm starting to do that now, and that's making me want to, like, learning to love myself through what I'm doing is making me want to like do it more. So the fact that I'm using myself as like my own inspiration, it's just pushing me more because I'm getting better through that. Instead of getting cocky with it, I'm getting this confidence and keeping it and just doing what I need to do with it.
What did you find out about yourself? Because you said when you moved out here, all this shit's starting to happen, and obviously you're starting to do more and more. Can you tell me something that you found out about yourself? Like, oh, I didn't realize I can like rock this party with my DJing skills, or I didn't know I can like book these fucking modeling gigs like that. I didn't realize when you just open your mouth, you can make shit happen. Rather than waiting for an opportunity or having someone put you on or put your name out there. If you just, hey, yo, what's up? I do this. Do you need help with that? Most likely people need help, or they can give you someone else. And that's a pretty big lesson to me. I've always been let me wait. Let me just see what happens. Like whatever happens. But I've started to go and get it. And that's pretty satisfying when it actually happens, knowing that I pushed myself to do it, or even someone else pushed me, like gave me the word and just gave me that confidence. And now I'm doing what I need to do now. Do you have a certain field that you enjoy more? Like you model the music and then like singing or whatever? Well, I don't know if you sing, but I do. I'm going to say music as a whole, because I love DJing. Whenever I hear someone like, oh, no, she did for a mix, that lights a fire in my soul. Or when I'm listening to music and I'm hearing a new song, like, oh, look, that drums was crazy. Like, oh my God. Or even being in the studio with someone, that to me is like someone trusting me to be in this space where there's raw music being played. Like that is very inspiring. I've grown up singing in the church, so that puts a soul or fire in my soul, just hearing people sing. Or my thing is harmonies. I love to hit a harmony. If someone's singing something, I'm gonna hit the off key, but it just sounds so beautiful. Like music, any type of music, even just instruments, jazz, instrumental, like anything. It's calming. It's just calming. It just feels so good. So music is the one for sure. Do you think music is like one of the most important things that you can give? Like one of the most important gifts you can give to another human being? The power of a song. I think so. I would say, yeah. Because even in moments where like my friend will send me a song, when I listen to it, it's like I know exactly why they sent me that song. Like there's either a message in this song or it's a joke that only I would get, or we cried together at this song, or you think that this song is going to help me get through something. Like that's very powerful. Very powerful. What's the last song that made you cry? Dang, what was it? I think it's called Lens by TOR. It's just it's like electronic, but it sounds crazy. So it's not necessarily a sad song, but it just sounds so beautiful. It's like, how did they do that? Oh my goodness. Techno shit? Yeah, something like that. That made you cry? Because it's beautiful. Yes. It's not, it's just like, it's got a flow to it, and there's
there's crazy shit going on in the song. Like there's a bunch of, but it's in a way where like there's also a in the back of the song that makes you like, oh, this is crazy.
Did it bring up something inside you to make you cry? Because I know, like, you just heard it. It had to bring up something in your.
No, to me, if a song is beautiful, it's beautiful. It doesn't have to evoke emotion or make me sad or happy. If it sounds pretty, if it hits my ears, it just hits my ears. Like if I listen to a song and my heart gets heavy, it's not a sad feeling. It's just like, oh wow, that was very beautiful.
Are you an emotional person?
Yeah, I try not to be, but I'm a big sap.
Do you think that will be a negative in the industry that you're trying to climb into?
Yeah, in a way. But you just got to keep that guard up in a way. Mm-hmm. Don't look too vulnerable and don't get played. You just got to know what's going on for real. So yeah, in a way, yeah.
Do you have a poem that you want to recite?
I don't.
No? Oh my God.
I'm a little private about my writing at this moment. We're not there yet, but if you want to hear a mix, you can go to my Apple Music, Jada Michelle with 3 L's.
Okay.
The link is on my IG _d.jada.
So, what do you want to accomplish in the next couple of years? Give me a short-term goal, which is in the next year, and give me a long-term goal, which is in the next 5 years.
Short-term? Mm-hmm. I want to have started making beats. Long-term? Nope, I'm gonna switch that. Short-term, I want to get connected and get more known. Get my name out there, not just DJing, not just modeling. Like I do a whole lot. I want to get known that I'm very flexible and I want to be in that industry. I want to do everything. So just getting known and putting my name out there is a little bit of a short-term goal. And long-term, I'm going to say I want to start making music. I want to make at least 20, 50 beats within the upcoming years, but I want to get more in the studio. Like I want to have my own studio. So I'm going to say that's my long term.
And your long term goal, how do you feel you're going to accomplish that?
You said, how do I feel I'm going to do that? Mm-hmm. I got to grind a little bit more and I have to be more strict with myself. I tend to set goals and then get there a little further because I'm not strict with myself. I'll let myself slip a little bit. I'll give myself lazy days or too many lazy days. And sometimes those are necessary, but I still got to stick to my schedule, my goals. I tend to let that slip a little too much. And if I keep on track with that, I would have been a little bit further now even. But now that I know that, I need to keep it going and step it up.
Are you working on anything right now?
I am actually. Lately, I've been making playlists for my set list that I do at the bar that I DJ at. So I'll make my set list and then turn that into a playlist. So for people who can't come out and hear me, it's in playlist form. So the next one I'm working on is a little bit more aggressive music because my first two it was called Hella Vibey and Side to Side, basically music that just make you want to rock side to side, 2-step, whatever. That's what was in there. So this next one is going to be called Fuck You Say. So you're going to have a little bit of aggression, a little bit of rage. For example, Rico Nasty, Chief Keef, something like that. So that's what I'm working on now, that next set list. And writing more lyrics. I'm starting to take my journal with me everywhere because I get thoughts randomly. And rather than writing it in my head or typing it in my phone, I really like writing stuff down. Like moving a pen, it feels so good. So I want to do that a lot more. Because even now, like, I'm just getting thoughts.
All right. So this is a time where you can promote yourself. Basically, I mean, you already did, but you want to give out your like social media handles, tell the people where you DJ at, and anything else you want to promote.
Okay, I'm gonna shout out my Instagram. That is _d.jada. That's D Jada, not DJ Jada. It's D Jada. Twitter is, I don't want to shout that out. We're just gonna do Instagram. That's all we're gonna do. Apple Music is gonna be Jada Michelle with 3 L's. You could also go to my Instagram to get those links. I would like to shout out More Vibes Worldwide, because they're lit, great vibes, more vibes all the time. You need those. And I also want to shout out Tyranny Allen.
Who was that?
The owner of the gallery where where More Vibes Worldwide is held.
All right. Well, everyone, I want to thank Jada for coming on Everyday Celebrity Podcast.
Thank you.
Very nice to get to know you and know your journey. I hope the best for you. I mean, I hope everything that you are wishing comes in fruition in the next couple of years. I can see it. I can see your drive. It takes a lot to pack up and just leave one place with no plan and just fall into somewhere and then make a life in which you did in the Bay Area. And you already have a lot of connections. So I feel like when people see that in you, like they want to help out. That's one of the reasons why I invited you on the show, because I saw it and I wanted to do my part. And like, people listen to this worldwide, so they're gonna hear it. So you might appreciate that. You never know who would like hop into your DM or whatever, or whatever opportunity.
I appreciate it for sure.
So yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
This was, any last words?
Follow me. Love y'all so much. Spread love. Keep the positivity. We don't need no more negativity in this world. We don't need it. Please just be happy and positive. That's all I got to say.
All right. We are out. You.